Good afternoon and hello, JRPG enthusiast. Welcome back to the JRPG Report. My name is James Fisher. This is episode 80. We appreciate all you guys holding on last week as we were out of town, and we are still very much getting ready for our move this weekend. So this is going to be a quick one, guys. Time is at a premium right now, but I wanted to kind of break along some news to you guys and get you through until next week. So let's just jump right into it. Again, thank you so much for making us a part of your every week JRPG fix. I want to start with Persona 5 Royal, as Atlas reached its 6th and final Morgana report. So this one actually introduces the new My Palace element in downloadable content. So let's delve into that just a little bit. They say My Palace is a special place where the player's thoughts and memories are gathered. By using the Palace Maker, players can customize their palace with items and change the overall decorations. You can also change the player's character's appearance to that of your favorite character in My Palace. You'll get awards by achieving certain objects in your daily life and in battle, through which you can obtain P medals that can be used in the My Palace. Using these P medals, you can purchase decorations and customize as you please. When placing an item, the cognitive existence of your confidence may appear in the palace. You may even be able to listen to special conversations. You can view any animations and special illustrations you have seen in the stories thus far, as well as listen to your favorite songs. You can enjoy the cognitive existence of your confidence and the multi-millionaire minigame in the My Palace play area. So that sounds pretty cool. A whole new feature that they are adding to Royal, kind of add some customization to it. This one's interesting, though. This will be available as DLC, and they're saying that the protagonists from both Persona 3 and 4 will appear as enemy characters in the challenge battle side activity of the Velvet Room. Players can challenge the battle with each protagonist. They say take on the challenge outside of the ordinary. Persona 5 Royal will feature downloadable content, costumes from other Atlas titles. Explore the palaces with the Phantom Thieves wearing your favorite costumes. And they say other things will be available as well via downloadable content. I kind of wish that was thrown in there as a freebie, but I can't really blame them for adding something like that as DLC. So they actually say from other Atlas games. So I'm kind of wondering if we're going to see some Catherine crossover type of deals with different costumes and whatnot. So that's very interesting stuff coming up in Persona 5 Royal. We still don't have a firm release date for the Western release. Of course, it's coming out on Halloween in Japan. We've got some other information, and this is this is actually coming up. I guess November's issue of Game Informer is not out yet. This is just the beginning of October as of this recording. But they interviewed Shigenori Sigajama, the character designer for the Persona series, as well as the upcoming Project Re Fantasy. It's been a while since we talked about this one, guys, and we're still not really talking about it, but this is some interesting information coming up as the character designer for both of them. They caught up with him from Atlas's Studio Zero. He's talking about his designs for it. So he says, Project Re Fantasy is completely different from what I've worked on previously. I've always loved fantasy, but once I started working on it, it became, well, what exactly is fantasy, and how can we bring a meaningful fantasy game into this world? What can we bring to this sort of genre and game? And so there's been a lot of trial and error about thinking about the whole genre and how to create the design. He continued, I feel like we are finally at a place where we have a direction and are moving forward with it. Hopefully, we'll have something to show everyone in the not-so-distant future. We're creating something that only we can bring to the table, a very unique design. It's something for fans to look forward to. So that's really interesting. We're not bringing, any new information, but, I can't even remember when this was initially teased. I thought it was after Persona 5 initially came out, so that's going on 2 years ago. And so it looks like they've been kind of, working on this just a little bit, but then Royal Project came up. So to me, I'm thinking that this is obviously their next big title. We're not going to go straight to Persona 6. So it sounds like this is the next big Atlas title. And once Royal completely wraps up, all gears will shift to Project Re Fantasy. We'll get some sort of working title for it. You have to imagine, guys, this is going to be a PlayStation 6 game. I cannot see... I mean, I guess there's a possibility of a backwards... I'm not PlayStation 6. A PlayStation 5 game. I guess there's obviously the possibility of there being a PS4 version. But it looks like this has been ramped up, and they're so far next to this new generation. They don't even have... I don't think they have anything for this game yet. This is kind of still in the design process, so you're probably going to need a new system in order to play this game. But I'm looking forward to it whenever that is. I mean, this game could come out in 2021 or later if I had to put down a guesstimate on it. So he actually talked about some of the changes from Persona 5 to Royal in terms of character design. He said it was definitely a challenge. It's always a challenge to actually bring in new elements in something that's already loved by fans. With Persona 5 Royal, there's a new character, Kasumi, that's custom made. We are aware that bringing a new character into the existing storyline, they're not at all the same starting line as the other characters in terms of familiarity to the fans and how they'll be received. So we're all kind of nervous about how new characters are seen. He continued, with Kasumi in particular, we wanted someone outside the Phantom Thieves who is viewing the situation from a whole new perspective. We wanted to bring her close in standing to one of the main characters, kind of in a protagonist kind of way, where fans will be able to see the story from a brand new perspective and have a new character. He said for design that he really wanted to just create a straightforward Harridan type of character. They nailed it. That's exactly her. He says that this may be a little different in the West, but in Japan, the manga I grew up reading, the main female character always had a ponytail, and their club activity was gymnastics. I really wanted to just shoot for that female protagonist archetype. Maybe in the States or in the West, it'd be comparable to a cheerleader type of girl. With most of the characters in Persona 5, we really wanted them to have a kind of twist, a kind of unique and different from what the standard character archetypes might be. But with Kasumi, we wanted to just straight go for that heroine type of girl. So that's a cool interview. I always enjoy reading kind of those behind-the-scenes type of deals especially with character designers. You really get insight into what they're trying to do. Quick note here, on October 11th, as of this recording today is October the 8th, there will be a new live stream for Project Secure Wars. They're going to have, this is the 8th Propaganda Department report. This will go on from 20 Japan Central Time to 21:30 Japan Central Time. This will be on YouTube and Periscope. So if you're looking forward to that one and you know Japanese, you can tune in to that one. We got some Monster Hunter World Iceborne news. The Iceborne expansion's first major update title, which will add the huntable monster Rajang. What is this going to be? This will be the new update to add the new volcanic region to the Gilding Lands. So when that new update happens, that is what will happen. I don't have any insight to that one, as I have not played that game, but just throwing that out there. And you can say this game, Monster Hunter, was definitely a success. Monster Hunter World shipments and digital sales have now topped 14 million, Capcom announced. That is pretty impressive, to say the least. So they definitely nailed it on that one. We got news. We we talked about either the last podcast or maybe the one before about the Dragon Quest 1, 2, and 3 collection for the Switch, and those are available now. At least in Asia, there is going to be a physical collection of all three, and that's going to be available on October 24th in Southeast Asia. Square Enix announced it will support English, traditional Chinese, and Korean language options. So, in theory, there's no reason why you couldn't get these, and I'm guessing the Switch has, Switch is region free. Don't quote me on that, but so maybe you can get it, maybe you can't. Pre-orders are now available on the Play Asia website. The physical collection is going to go for $39.99. So I think if you priced it out separately, it would be cheaper digitally. But to get the physical collection, that's pretty cool. Maybe we'll see this a full Western release for it. But you can also use the coupon code Gamatsu, that's GEMATSU, for a 5% discount if you are so inclined to pick that up. So hopefully this just comes full blown to the West, and maybe Limited Run might make a version of this. That would be pretty awesome. I would definitely pick that up and support that. We got news of a smartphone title in the Dragon Quest series. This one, and it's not Dragon Quest Walk. We're not talking about it. This one is Dragon Quest of the Stars, and it is coming to the West in early 2020. Square Enix announced. This is already in the East. It actually first launched back in October 2015 in Japan and has been downloaded over 20 million times since then. There is a closed beta going to be out there. The beta will run from October 30th until November 28th. You can sign up for that now. But this is just for Android users. So I found that a bit peculiar that they weren't doing this on iOS. Perhaps that's coming later. But as of right now, this beta is just... and it is open right now, September 30th. Until October 30th. You can sign up for that. The beta will last, like I said, from October 30th until November 28th. You can sign up until, unless those are all taken. So they say this is the highly popular RPG mobile game from Japan is finally releasing its closed beta test for global. With over 78 million copies sold worldwide, the hit RPG series Dragon Quest is now coming to mobile. Explore the planet and fight monsters in this adventure RPG. In the beta, you can experience the main story, customize your characters, obtain equipment, play events, and enjoy multiplayer mode, along with various other content. So it sounds like a pretty cool game. I'm hoping this beta is just for Android, that it will come on iOS as well, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. I cannot imagine them not. Maybe iOS is fine. They don't need to do a beta on it. I don't know. Quickly, we also had... I'm losing my thing. We got a new trailer for Little Town Hero. You got to meet the characters Axe, Pasmina, Nails, Amber, Minnie, and more. So this is the colorful cast of a Nintendo RPG. That was about... Yeah, it was a decent little trailer. So if you guys want to check that out, you can head over to the Facebook page and do that. It's got that full story. You can read more about the game. We've talked about it before, but this is a pretty cool new trailer. Of course, the game is coming out exclusively on Switch and digital only on the Nintendo eShop on October 16th for $24.99. Yokai Watch 4 Plus Plus will launch for PS4 and Switch on November 5th in Japan. This is an enhanced version of the original game that includes multiplayer, new areas, and new yokoi. There will be a physical edition, but also it will be digital. No word on if this is going to see a Western release as well. Remember a while back. We talked about the Grand Legacy Tale of the Fatebounds for the Switch. Well, now this is finally coming to PS4 and Xbox One, and it is available now. This story broke about a week ago. Of course, I couldn't cover it then, but we actually did that interview not too long ago. You can look that up with the series creator. There was some poor audio as this was a very long distance Discord call, but I think we got the main idea for it. But I'm glad to see this one coming finally to PS4 and Xbox One. You can get it right now for $19.99. There is a 20% discount on it if you buy it before October the 17th. The Grand Legacy Tale of the Fatebounds is a love letter to our all-time favorite JRPG with a fresh take on classic turn-based combat and tactics. Welcome to the grand, a beautifully hand-drawn world riddled with various curious creatures, devastating wars, and intrigued tales of vengeance and redemption. Embark on an epic adventure through this sprawling fantasy universe and fight alongside the Fatebounds as they attempt to bring peace to the Grand. But be careful who you trust, because everyone has a secret to hide. I'm definitely happy to see that one coming over to PS4 and Xbox One. There is a a time trial out for Mistover right now. We talked a little bit about that in the last podcast. And we got news that there will be a physical edition in Japan on January 23rd. There's a really nice special, or I guess just a regular edition of it. You get a art book, special box, and more along with it. Yeah. Physical copy, special box, original art book, original soundtrack download code, and game content download code. The digital edition, it comes out in a couple days for $29.99. No price yet on. Well, there's a price on it. It's 5,800 yen. I don't know. I'm sorry, I don't know what that converts to, and no word on whether or not this will be also coming to the West. I guess we'll have to see. Maybe how sales go on this one on the digital, and then we'll see if that's going to come out in the West or not. We got a bit of sad news that Alpha Dream, the studio behind the Mario and Luigi RPG series, they actually filed for bankruptcy the other day in Tokyo. This was back on October 1st. The company was first established back in May of 1991. So they've been around for a while and was mostly known for the work on the Mario and Luigi RPG series, but just couldn't count out with that. As of last March, their debt was 465 million yen. So yeah, just couldn't quite make it go. And I'm sure that Mario and Luigi RPG series will carry on, but they will be without Alpha Dream at the head of it. Code Vein is out right now, and we got news that version 1.04 update will launch in late October, and we'll have some fun Halloween themed accessories, color palettes, and face paints, as well as other changes to the gameplay. Not sure exactly when that's going to come out. They say that's late October as of right now. Last thing I want to talk about, you've got to have your weekly Atelier Ryza news, and I've got two Ryza newses, and I've got one other Atelier news. You just can't do without it, guys. There's no way around it. Until this game comes out in the West, we're going to get news, and then maybe we'll get news after as well. So, in its first week in Japan, Ryza actually sold 150,000 copies, which is its strongest sales numbers in the series history. That's pretty decent, guys. I mean, this is not, a huge series, so I think that's pretty good for a game series that has been around for 22 years. Didn't realize it had been out exactly that long. According to the outlet, pre-orders for the game outpaced those for recent games in the series, and the sales were the fastest for any title in this series. I'll be interested to see how this does in the West as well, because it definitely looks like from a character design model, it could be catered some for the West. Speaking of the West, there is going to be a digital deluxe edition, has been announced. You can get that for $65.99, so just $6 more than the actual price. So I don't see why you wouldn't necessarily want to do this. So with that, you're going to get costume sets. You'll get 15 new clothing options, from Lit's Gothic Wolf look to Tails Island Explorer gear. Hideout parts. These are items used in remodeling secret hideouts. These items come with special effects like raising certain islands' abilities during the rain. Those include for the Pixie Forest and Lakeside hideout. Oh, the costume sets were another fashion and summer style. You'll get the initial dash item set. These are special wind shoes that help increase movement speed. That's pretty cool. That could cut down on some traverse time, and a bigger knapsack to increase item gathering capacity. You also get the extra large rebuild gem pack, which is 100,000 gems that can be used for rebuilding. Consumers who pre-order any version of the game will also receive the Summer Adventure costume for Ryza, as previously announced. The game is due out. It's already out in Japan, of course, and is due out on PS4, Switch, and PC via Steam on October 29th in North America, November 1st in Europe. I'd have to imagine that these will all be available as DLC once it's out as well, but kind of just giving people who want to go ahead and pre-order the digital deluxe edition an easy way to do that. I've got this linked on the Facebook page, so you can check out exactly what all is in there. We also got news that both in the East and the West, the Atelier Dusk Trilogy set will be out, and this is the deluxe pack that will come out in the West on January 14th. It'll be out in Japan 2 weeks before that. This, of course, was the Dusk series that had Aisha, Echi and Logi, and Shally. This will launch. Of course, these games will be available for purchase individually as well, but this is kind of, they always do that deluxe 3-pack set. I think it goes for around $90 for the 3. So here are the key features now on current gen platforms: a richer Dusk world, high resolution graphics on the PlayStation 4 and Switch for a richer and more exquisite world of Dusk. Smoother gameplay, brisk exploration of battles. Use the new run feature to dash across fields. And the fast forward battle feature will speed up battles even against powerful enemy. It includes a large number of additional features and downloadable content. This was a series I don't know if I've told this one before. I liked Aisha very much. That was a fun game for me. And then I got Eshi and Logi, and so I bought the game from our favorite retail store. I guess I could say GameStop. I mean, everybody knows what GameStop is. And for some reason, I just put it on the shelf, right? Added it to the collection. In it went, didn't think anything of it, and went to play it, I don't know, like a month, 2 months later or something like that. And I had the wrong game inside of it. And I didn't have my receipt. And I'm like, there's no way that they are going to believe me that I just so happened to have the wrong game in the case. I would have had to brought it back, right away for it to happen. So I kind of I've now got the case on the shelf with all the other Atelier titles, and I forget which garbage game they gave me inside of it, but it was not what I wanted. And of course, I always want to call it Atelier Shallies, since there's 2 Shally characters in the game, but it is just Shally. And I quite enjoyed that one until I got to the very end of it and faced this giant dragon monster who just completely wiped the floor with my party, and I just kind of rage quit and went on to play something else. But I've always enjoyed this series, going back to the Arlen trilogy, and of course looking forward to Adventures with Ryza in the new new, I guess it's starting a new trilogy. Of course, they can't, they got to keep going with those. So anyway, short and sweet RPG report for this week. This has been episode 80. I hate to keep them so short, but honestly, guys, that was everything I had to talk about. So not a whole lot coming about right now as we're looking forward to some big games at the end of the month with Ryza and, of course, Cold Steel 3, one of my personal most anticipated titles in a very long time. You can check out the demo to Cold Steel 3 if you haven't already. It is phenomenal. So we'll be back next week. I can't guarantee there's going to be a ton of stuff to talk about. Maybe another short one as, like I said, we're moving over the weekend and may still have things kind of in boxes everywhere, but we'll do what we can. All right, guys, that's it for this time. Thank you so much for tuning in yet again. Head over to Facebook, give us a like on there. Head over to our YouTube page, subscribe for live streams and some videos sometimes. And until next time, get back out there and level up.